we're going to go ahead and get started. We are recording this. We will send this out to all our VPs next week. But welcome to 2022. We are in full motion now. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the calendar this morning. 3 weeks from next Tuesday, we'll close out January. So we got 3 weeks from this coming Tuesday. So we got a little over 3 weeks before this month's end. And also, Mike Landrum, my brother, they're having their big annual event down in Hattiesburg. They started yesterday. They're having a general session today. I haven't gotten an update on that. Jill and I were planning on being there, but we actually have a wedding in town this weekend. We've got Dominic Papuro and Stephanie's daughter, Juliana, and Patrick. They are getting married here in Jackson. Jill did a bridesmaid brunch for them yesterday here at the house. And so anyway, I got a big weekend planned. So we'll be doing that weddings tonight. So anyway, excited about them starting a new family. We kind of watched Juliana literally grow up. Actually, she's named Juliana Rose. She's named after Rose, my Rose. So, Rose has been with us over 35 years, and Dominic and Stephanie were trying to get pregnant, and they, but Rose told them one day, hey, y'all are going to be pregnant. And next thing you know, bam, they got pregnant. So they named Juliana after Rose, who's been kind of the mother of our hierarchy for the last 35 years. So anyway, we got that this weekend. I know Mike and them are having a great event down in Hattiesburg this weekend. We've got Jim Hass, the illustrious Jim Hass and Jacqueline are out in our guest house. And so anyway, so Jill and I are going to be sharing today from 10 to 11. So we're going to keep everything on time. We just got back from Atlanta, thinking about our company, kicking off senior leader meeting we had Monday and Tuesday. Had a great event over there. So I'm going to be talking about that, kind of giving you an update on kind of where we are as a company right now. And then we want to move in. Jill's got some things she's going to share. And then I want to talk about really kind of your game plan for this year. We've got a lot of big plans for 2022. And so it's exciting. But let me go ahead and rattle through kind of state of the company and some of the things that are going to be happening this year in Primerica. This is, 2020 to 2030, we kicked off the company, labeled it the decade of dominance. For, the company goals for this 10-year, for this decade. And so here we are now into 2022. And so, but anyway, just looking at the company's goals, now, of course, this year, February 10th, we'll turn 45 years old. So we'll be 5 years away from our 50th birthday as a company. And thinking about it, like one example was, like Newer Life, right? They're 175 years old. So we're relatively a young company at 45. We're still a teenager of a company, but look at the success that we're having right now. We've got over 900 billion of face amount in force in our company. We've got 92 billion of assets under management that we invest for our clients, 92 billion. We've got, the goal this decade is 10,000 regional vice presidents, 10,000. Right now, we've got 6,017. Okay, so we have so much room to grow. I mean, man, we're in the right place, right time. We've got the goal of 10,000 families earning over 50K a year right now. We've got 8,300 families earning over 50K, over 5,000. No, I'm sorry. We've got 4,409 families earning over a six-figure income now. So that's incredible. This in the last 12 months, we promoted 324 new vice presidents in the company. And folks, when you think about the market and what we're positioned to go do, just like if you think about, income protection, creating that instant estate, if something happens too soon to the breadwinner or breadwinners in that family. And, they did a survey that 6 in 10 Americans, because of all the pandemic and all that, 6 in 10 of Americans gave a heightened sense of value of having that income protection in place. So now more than ever, people realize, hey, you know what, man, that's important. You never know what's going to happen there, right? Through a diagnosis or, pandemic, whatever, people, aren't saving enough money. As a matter of fact, 75% aren't saving enough, right, in North America. And so, man, what an incredible market! What an incredible thing that we get to do to get people's attention and say, you know what, you need to make this a priority. A lot of times, really important things don't scream that loudly. And when you think about income protection or living too long or dying too soon, people think, well, it's just a long way off, right? And so that's why it's so important what we do. The other thing is a career uncertainty. They call it the great resignation, right? That 50% of millennials say they would quit if an employer mandated return to on-site work, right? And so, folks, I'm telling you, this plays perfectly into our business model and what we do. And think about people living longer. As a matter of fact, a week before last, I got this in the mail, and I was joking with our granddaughters about this, that I got invited. Now this is depressing, right? I got invited to a luncheon. It has a sandwich plate with French fries and a sandwich, right? I got invited to a luncheon at a restaurant to plan for final arrangements. Okay. Now that's the first one I've ever gotten like that. But by the way, I ain't going to that. You're talking about a depressing lunch, right? I'm not about to go near there. But what I'm saying is, man, there's if you think about it, as a matter of fact, Steve Barger, who spoke for us twice last year on Leadership Hour, Steve Barger, I'm not going to take the time to go into all the detail, but Steve is just, he really came up with a financial needs analysis for our company. He came in from the outside, from Smith Barney and other financial companies over the years. But anyway, Steve mentioned to me, he said, David, I want you to read a book. And so I downloaded it on my book app and, just the audio, and I'm listening to it now, and it's called The 100-Year Life, right? The 100-Year Life. And they're talking about how, what's happening in North America, well, worldwide, it's a global event, is the increasing longevity of life, okay? That you take a child that's born right now, or a 10-year-old, like our 3 granddaughters, 10, 11, 6, and 5, there's a 50% chance that they're going to live to be 105 years old, right? Every 10 years, life expectancy it increases by 2 years, right? So if you're a 20-year-old, there's a 50% chance you're going to live to be over 100, okay? If you're 40 years old, 50% chance you're going to live to be 95 or more. Even 60-year-old, right? There's a 50% chance you're going to live to be 90 or older. Okay, which means what? A longer retirement, right? Which that's a whole other issue. Okay. As a matter of fact, what we've had up until now is kind of what they call a 3-stage life. A 3-stage life is you get your education, then you work, then you retire at 65 or whatever. And they're saying that's a changing deal, because you think about if you retire and then you stay retired for 30 or 40 years, right? You think about of course, pensions are going away, right? Um, and people living longer. So they say now that the coming thing is what they call a multi-stage life, because you're just going to be living for so much longer, and a multi-stage life. And so anyway, and if you think about, y'all, that just like right now, I know this isn't going to go on forever, but right now, you look at the market, you've got inflation. Inflation's here. It's not a temporary deal here, right? This is my 43rd year in the business. I came in, Jimmy Carter was our president, and you had double digit inflation. Okay. You had high interest rates. And so that's kind of where, you're going to see interest rates going up. You're going to see inflation. It's going to be here for a while, right? And then you think about what that's going to do. But the thing about it is, you look at our business model, okay, there's just going to be a need more than ever for people to talk to our company, because one thing that we know is, and I've seen this for the decades that I've been here, is money never goes out of style, right? Never goes out of style, and people are always going to be worried about educating kids, taxes, debt, retirement, right? And so that's what we do. And then especially thinking about our business model, right? We're here, you can come in, join our company, go out and build a residual income, go into business for yourself, be an entrepreneur, have ownership. And then, I've always said this, I said, why in the world would a person go out and work for, trade hours for dollars, when you can go out there and build a company within a company, okay? And then you go out and do that, and then you can make more income as an entrepreneur, right? Here in this business, work your own hours, your own boss, no quotas, but then you own the business, and so you're building up equity in your company, right? And man, that is an incredible opportunity that we've got to do that, and freedom, flexibility, and like Jill kind of came up with a word, or I did, or I'll take credit, where you can come in here and age gracefully, right? And so anyway, and you think about it, y'all, that now one thing, your greatest strength can become your greatest weakness. Freedom is great, but if you can't handle freedom, okay, then that's not good. But people are going to be younger for longer. That's what they talk about in the book. Age is not stage, right? That even your relationships will cross age groups, that at different stages of your life, you'll build new networks, and that there's going to be a big labor churn in the marketplace. And it's going to happen. The days of going with XYZ company, staying there 30 years, right? And then getting the gold watch, and then somebody thanks you for your time. Those days are going to be a thing of the past as we move forward. The other thing that's going to be coming out at the convention is the new life product, right? The new life product, the next generation of the income protection, coming this summer, and we'll have it at the convention. And we've got two different types of term. The names are power term, and precision term, okay? There's going to be price reductions. We're going to have everything from a $750,000 band of pricing. It's going to be simplified on the rate calculations. You'll actually quote people based on their actual age, what age they are right now. The policy fees are going to be coming down lower. We're going to have female rates. In some cases, it'll be up to 40% less on that. The underwriting is going to be simplified, and we're going to DocuSign, which I love DocuSign, right? Just to be able to send them an email, and they click on there, they sign it. Guys, man, it's going to be simplified. You can actually go now to go under Primerica Online, go under on the products tab, and then go to life insurance, and then slash a next generation project is the name of it. And you can get the details that basically I just went over. The other thing the companies we're working on right now is the new landing page. And you can go online now and you can go ahead to the Rep Marketing Center, okay? And you're going to be able to have a landing page. Every rep will be able to have their picture, their contact info, all that. And they're even going to have it to where people can schedule through your scheduler an app, and they can actually schedule appointments right there and give them choices of times and all that based on your parameters that you set. So that's going to be a home run. So that's all coming. And a part of it's already here, so people can go ahead and do that. The mortgages, right now we're in 17 states on the mortgages. We've got 1,300 mortgage reps now. We've helped 4,500. We've done 4,500 mortgages. We're 17 states. We've closed over $1 billion now in loan volume, paid out over $9 million in mortgage comp. We're now on the Rocket Mortgage. We're the #1 partner of Quicken now on that, Primerica. And folks, now they're hiring dedicated wholesalers, Quicken is, just to service Primerica. They see the writing on the wall of where this train is headed. We're going to be big time in the mortgage business. There'll be new states that'll be rolling out this year. And so if you think about mortgages, income protection, investments, okay, that's going to be where we go. Talking about leadership, you know, we've got the equity program again this year. You know, go out, become a VP, get $15,000 of Primerica stock, which is incredible. I noticed somebody's got a $200 price per share value on the stock, a projection on that. Of course, there's no guarantee on any of that. But the thing about it is, our company, we're mean and lean, we're growing, we're in position to go out and do some big things. My Primerica, which is our client portal, to where your clients can go on one site, and they pull up all of their accounts, everything from their mortgage with us to their income protection, their investment balance, all that in real time. That's incredible. We're already cranking that up now, but between now and the convention, you'll see that at a whole different level. Training, Primerica Online. Now, you know, look at all the securities, the new up to the minute with Primerica investments. Up to the minute, there's actually, I think there's about 40 programs that you can go right now and watch if a person wants to learn the investment business, which is a great move. So we've got a launch of training and certification videos all on the investment business. So that's coming. By the way, you know, we've got AIG is one of the variable annuities that annuity companies that we represent. AIG is like a 800-pound gorilla, right, in that business. And we've got this for any of you that want to jump on my Zoom Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Central. I've got Vincent, who's a wholesaler. Vincent is going to be I'm giving him 30 minutes on 2 different products they have. One is we put my first cousin in. He retired from Exxon, and he's got you know, a 7-figure amount in there. And man, they've got it. Before you start drawing income, they'll take the highest your account ever gets for the year, for the whole year. If it has one good day and it just pops up, they lock that in from an income standpoint. And like, you know, you can get like a 6 and 4 return, 6% payout when you do turn on the income, a 6% payout, or a 7 and 3, a 7% payout. And even if the account goes to 0, right, like on that 6 and 4, if you, let's say, turn it on and you're making 100 grand let's just say 100,000 a year, you're pulling off there. Even if the account goes to 0, if that happens, then it drops to 4% return till you and your spouse are dead, right? Which, think about being able to protect that income that is a huge thing. So anyway, that's going to be, if you want to get more details on that, that'll be this Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central Time on this Zoom. Just jump on there. I'm giving him 30 minutes. I do a leadership meeting at 10:30 every Tuesday. But if you want to know more about the AIG product, then do that. Okay, we've got the Broadboard contest going right now. Goes let's see, through May, right? I think it goes through May, to May or through May. And the Broadmoor, Forbes has had it for 60 years, 5-star resort. And it's the only one that's done it 60 years in a row. Our company's been here like through this Colorado Springs. That's going to be a great trip. You can get all the details on qualifying for that. And then of course, our national convention is just going to be incredible the end of June in Atlanta at the Mercedes Dome. You know, we now all our VPs can register starting January 16th through the 31st, and everybody can register in the company for the convention starting the month of February. So that's good. Okay, so Jill, you're ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jill. She's going to do her thing. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to kind of shift gears. Okay, I want to talk to you about goals and really what we need to do to make this thing happen for you this year. So here's Jill. Come on.
Okay, how's everybody doing? I guess you guys can't really actually talk to me, so I'm just going to kick off and start sharing with you. I just want to start by saying Happy New Year. I actually knew exactly what I wanted to talk about this morning. David asked me yesterday, he said, can you share tomorrow? And I said, yeah, I actually need to, which is not usually like me, but I'm excited about a new year. I'm excited about February 4th, 5th, and 6th. I think David mentioned that already, the event we're having here.
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, he hasn't.
I'm getting to that.
He's getting to that. Anyway, we're talking about having kind of a leadership retreat and kind of having roundtables and having table leaders and having like breakfast and lunch together. And, you know, I started thinking about just COVID and how really we need relationships more than ever, you know, and I'm so thankful. I'm very thankful for Zoom, but I really think 2022 needs to be the year of building those relationships. And sometimes you do that best for sure, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball, right, with people. And I've got a funny story I wanted to kick off with. Actually, it's not a funny story. It's kind of a sad story, I guess. David, my birthday was Monday, okay? And we celebrated my birthday. And then Tuesday, we're supposed to fly to Atlanta at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we're sitting here. Tommy got sick, couldn't come. So it's just a few of us, just really Lauren and her family. And David and I, we'd had dinner. And we're sitting here. And Lauren looked across the room at me. She said, Mom, have you packed for Atlanta? And I said, no. I said, I had gone to my favorite boutique that like comes through for me every time, right? That day. And I knew I was going in there. I was going to drop a load of money, right? I was going to get just 2 really adorable new outfits to take to Atlanta. It's closed. I mean, how dare they? They closed on my birthday, right? I'm like, how in the world could this happen? Probably for inventory. But I was like, oh, well, no big deal. I've got a closet full of clothes, right? I mean, no big deal. And I told Lauren, I said, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to get up in the morning and pack. And then realized, man, we got to leave here at 7 a.m. So I got up at 4 o'clock to pack. Long story short, I get in my closet and I'm trying, I mean, you know, outfit after outfit, and they're all epic failures. And David's kind of looking at me like, Dave, Houston, there's a problem. Like, where's that blouse? That my go-to blouse was at the cleaners. And, you know, what do you do when you get kind of stressed? I'm kind of feeling, I know that sounds just a lot of you people, it probably sounds so silly, but I'm standing here thinking I got to fly to Atlanta and I can't find something to wear today, let alone something to wear to take for tomorrow. And I got to go to Atlanta. And I start getting that. It kind of turned into panic. And David ended up walking into my closet. Okay, this is so funny. And he says, Jill, you have stuff to wear. Just calm down. You know, you've got stuff to wear. He goes in my closet and he pulls out this really nice blazer, a really pretty blazer. It's kind of a white blazer. It's a linen blend, though. It's a summer blazer. It's got 3/4 length sleeves. And it was very pricey when I bought it, but I bought it into summer sale. And I said, David, I can't wear that. It's a summer blazer. He goes, no, Jill, wear this. I said, it's a summer blazer. He said, Jill, just trust me. He said, wear those new shoes. I got these new leopard pumps. He said, wear those new shoes. So I left the house. I packed my kind of go-to outfit with jeans and boots for the next day. And I left, to be honest, all the way to the airport. I'm kind of pouting. I'm like, dang, here I go again. And I'm really down on myself. Like, Jill, couldn't you just have the self-discipline to have done this last week? Couldn't you just thought this through? I mean, I'm kind of beating myself up, and we get to the airport. Anyway, it's so funny. We get into Atlanta, we get on the plane train, right? And this lady standing next to me, this cute little girl, and I was just kind of admiring the little girl, and the lady looked over, she goes, man, that's a nice jacket. It's like, really? I said, thank you. David looked at me like, uh-huh. Okay, we get to the marquee, okay? And the Atlanta Marriott Marquis, and we're trying to find where we're supposed to go to get registered, and run into an employee. And anyway, he says, man, he said, boy, I like your outfit. I said, you do? He said, I like the whole thing. I like your shoes too. Y'all, long story short, I bet I had 10 people. Even last night, Jim and Jacqueline were here last night. And when I was talking about what I'm going to wear to a wedding that's today, he said, wear that jacket you wore in Atlanta. And David looked across the room. He says, Jill, you got to tell him the story. And what hit me in that, I only tell you this story to let you know that, we need each other. When you go into somebody's life, or let's just say closet, for example, you see things they don't see. I look at David and how he's operated in this business. And I've always told y'all, he sits down with somebody one-on-one. He really has a gift of encouragement. He really has a gift of encouraging people, but he also has a gift of diagnosing. If you want to know, he's one-on-one. He is unbelievable. You sit down with him, he can talk to you about your schedule. He can talk to you about what does your presentation look like, and he can diagnose you. Guys, we need coaching. We need coaching. Coaches see things we don't see. So anyway, I thought about all that and just how it kind of led into this year, and what a lesson I learned. And I'm letting David pick out what I'm wearing to the wedding. Just FYI, I told him, I said, David, are you sure you're straight? Because supposedly straight guys can't do that, but he can. He is straight. We've been married 43 years. I think I would know. But I want to talk to you just really quickly about things I feel like we need to embrace this year. And I want you to make a list of your talents and your strengths, or things that you want to be your talents and your strengths that you want to focus on this year, kind of your goals, for this year. And, I started thinking about, I had a bridesmaids brunch here yesterday, and y'all, I spent all day the day before getting ready for it. And you talk about a happy place for me. It's like I put on music. I mean, I got out my fine china. I got fine crystal, polished the silverware, set the table, put flowers on it. I did some cooking, actually. Not all of it was bold. Made a breakfast casserole, thought about what I'm going to put in my cheese grits. That gift of hospitality. And, talk about something you can use to build a business here. Y'all, and sometimes it was a bag of potato chips or a pot of spaghetti, and soft drinks, but we did a lot of getting together, spending time with people, having your team get together. And I really hope that this year allows us the opportunity to do more and more of that. But I think about gift of hospitality, gift of communication. People tell me I have the gift of communication. I fought it so hard. I had so much fear I had to overcome, y'all. I would get sick. If I knew I was going to be on an agenda, I literally became where I couldn't eat for a couple of days. And you know what I think? I think that thing you really fear is the thing you really need to attack. I look at how God's used it, and it's really just God. I mean, I can't say it's me at all. People say, boy, you said this, or I was in a meeting where you said that. And, you might have a gift you don't even want to get out. There's so much fear associated with it. But I'm telling you, you need to take that gift of whatever it is, or that thing you fear, and you need to go do it. I have a love for families. I just have a love for families. The family unit, I think, is precious, and I think it's under attack. And I think we all need help in that area, just coming around each other and encouraging each other. I want a healthy attitude this year. I want to work on that. I love Zig Ziglar. And I just read this quote. It's a simple quote, but I think it's really powerful. He said, positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. I started thinking about that. I said, that is so true. Positive thinking, if you've got a positive attitude towards something, it's going to let you do everything better than negative thinking will. Another thing I feel like is a gift is humility. man, I don't feel like, I don't know. I think I think sometimes people look at us and the money we make or what kind of house you live in or whatever kind of car you drive. But man, I remember where I came from. I don't ever want to forget where I've come from. I never want to forget the battles that I fought. Ooh, and some of the lessons that I've learned there. So things you need to embrace. I want you to make a list for this year, things you see as your strengths, and be honest with yourself. And if it's not, or something, maybe you want it to be your strength, something you want to work on. But there's some things I think that this year we need to attack, that we need to kind of declare war on. And I know this is true for me. I believe it's probably true for most of us. A friend sent me an email just randomly. I never get emails from this friend. I've known her for years and years and years. She and I used to be really close, and she was a widow for 16 years and then remarried. I don't see her as much, but it was Ann Voskamp. I've read some of Ann Voskamp's books. I know a little bit about her story. When she was a child, she was out, saw her little sister get run over by a delivery truck, and it was very, very traumatic. And she's just kind of struggled with this journey, but she's an unbelievable writer. Talk about a gift of communication. But it started with, the email got my attention because I'm thinking Ann Voskamp, but it started with a statement, and it's something we in Primerica, we talk about this all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've said this. It says, life is pain, and you get to choose the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment. That's how this email started. So I read this email and I just kind of pondered. I'm going to cover just a few points with you as I close up. But David and I came home from Atlanta and rented this movie, King Richard. I don't know if any of you have watched it yet, but it's the story of Venus and Serena Williams, the tennis stars. And, David and I were in New York City in a restaurant, some little tiny restaurant somewhere. And Serena, I think it was Serena, walked in and sat a few tables away from us. And I just admired her from a distance. And I'd never had realized the sheer size of this woman. I mean, she is an athlete. She is straight up athlete. But this movie is really about her dad, King Richard Williams, and how he trained them and what he went through and the discipline. But one of the things he attacked in them was when he saw pride. And I think you need to watch it just for those kinds of lessons. They were winning all these tournaments and they were kind of getting cocky, and he dropped them at a store and left them. He was going to make them walk 3 miles home, and his wife wouldn't let him. Long story short, he ended up making them watch Cinderella. I'm like, why are we watching Cinderella? And they didn't get the lesson. He was trying to teach them. He said Cinderella ended up where she did, how she did, because she was humble. And anyway, it's just a great lesson in that. But, one thing Ann Voskamp said, and I'd never thought about this, nothing happens without discipline. And I think this is true in our business. Nothing happens without discipline. But she said, no music gets played. No games get won. No finish lines get crossed. No freedom gets tasted. And I added, no business gets built. Nothing's going to happen without discipline. And I got to work on that. I know I need to work on that. She used the example. If you have a kid that scores 99.7 percentile on his ACT, that is all well and good. She said her dad used to say this all the time, but brilliant doesn't matter if you can't get out of bed. Brilliant doesn't matter. And one thing I saw in Atlanta, I sat there and I listened to those speakers. And by the way, you know what I wanted to do when I couldn't find anything to wear? I wanted to stay home. Man, I tell you what, the enemy would have loved for me to stay home. I didn't stay home. I sat in Atlanta and I listened to every person I think up there in some shape, form, or fashion basically said they'd had this burning desire inside of them. That common denominator of that burning desire. And if you don't have that burning desire, you'll be the one that's laying in bed still watching Netflix. When you're supposed to be out there working, right? It's definitely a common denominator around people that do well here, that burning desire. I think about Don Lindsay coming over and did not do a good job explaining this business to David. He was new, he's professional, but he didn't really know a lot, and he just kind of fumbled through. Little did he know, David had been laying in his bed at night trying to think up some way to start a business. You never know. Listen, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. We just don't talk to enough people. We've got to talk to people. We've got to share our story and talk about our opportunity, how great it is. But one of the things that she talked about in this email is she said that talent doesn't mean a thing. Talent doesn't mean anything if you let some terrorists take you hostage. She talked about terrorists, and I thought about our terrorists, distractions, Distractions. How easy is it to get distracted? Oh my gosh. Interruptions, you know, temptations. There's some things you just don't need to do. Some things you need to say no to for sure. Fear. I think we all struggle with fear, and the only way to overcome it that I've ever figured out is to face it. Lazy. I shouldn't have waited till the last minute. I shouldn't have waited till the last minute to be packing, right? Ruts. Ruts can be a problem. You got to choose them carefully. I heard somebody say you got to choose your ruts real carefully because you're going to be in them a long time. And once you get in a rut, it's kind of hard to get out of it. But what does it take? 30 days. 30 days to start a new habit. I want this year to be the year I start a lot of new habits. I really do. Regret. One of the speakers talked about we are designed as humans to move forward. We look forward, we see forward, we speak forward, we reach forward. Like, you try to reach the person behind you. It's hard, it's awkward, but you sitting in a room, you can reach out and reach that person. You're designed to walk forward, not walk backwards. And that's what look, what's in the past we can learn from, but we've got to let it go. And we cannot let it rob us of the future that we're supposed to have here. Idols. She said, break idols or they'll break you. Idols can be people. It can be things. It can be success here. Dave and I've been there. I remember having to get down at that coffee table in our little house in Orange Grove and say, okay, God, we give it to you. We thought success here was going to answer everything, but I know that that's not the answer to everything. And we laid the business down. And I was sure when we stood up, we were going to be missionaries. But you know what? When we stood up, slowly but surely, man, God began to turn our business around and really help us. It was amazing. I don't have a crystal ball for this next year, but I know that I want to do all I can do to be the best me and to show up, to press on and to pass that on, to study, to sweat, and do it, especially when things are hard. It's easy to do it. When things are good, everybody wants to celebrate. Everybody wants to dance in the end zone. It's when things are hard, really, that leaders are made. It's the hard times that you make those hard decisions that really gain the attention of heaven. God says, David loves to tell me all the time, with me, without me, but God really did say it way before David ever said it. He said, with me, nothing's impossible. And with a wind like that at your back, how can we fail? So I just hope that this is a year of God's blessings, of us doing the right things, building our business, taking care of each other, coaching each other, encouraging each other, and moving that ball across the finish line here. So,
man, that's great, Jill. That's good. Hey, that's man, that's powerful. And so let me do this. I'm going to I'm going to, yeah, okay, I've got some things. First of all, any of you that need any help with your wardrobe, okay, on what to wear, just let me know. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Oh man, that's a joke. So, but anyway, Jill mentioned, that you go out there and, she talked about laying in bed, watching Netflix. Hey, let me tell you, the key is, you got to have a spark. Okay. You got to have a spark, and it can be an event in Atlanta. It could be a Saturday morning event like this. I mean, you get a little spark, right? And then what happens is you take the spark, then you combine that with action. Okay. Just start moving, take action. Okay. And then what happens next is emotion. The emotion follows the action. I've never gotten motivated just by sitting in a chair, right? I mean, you can get that spark, okay? And so Art used to say it like this: the only two things you can control, attendance and activity. But when you attend, you get that spark, then you have activity, and then emotion. Then next thing you know, the motion controls, the excitement. Okay, then next thing you know, you start feeling like doing it, and so that's a real key. The other thing is, during this time, guys, let me tell you, I do this: lone rangers don't make it. Okay, the pandemic, a lot of people have kind of isolated or whatever. We need to get back out there. I know Omicron and all that stuff. I mean, it's out there. People are getting it. It's not as serious. Not a lot of people are dying over it or whatever. But I think you got to use caution. But man, the thing it's now moving past pandemic to what I think they call it endemic or whatever. And so I think we're kind of post COVID now. That's the way the company's looking at it. Okay. But we got to be smart and, good hygiene, all that stuff, socially distant, all that. Okay. And I totally agree with that. But to me, you can't just build your business. I don't want to go back to the way it was. I know I don't want to. Okay. To where, but man, what we want to do is combine the human contact with the Zoom and technology. We need to do both, okay? And like use your office as your base of operations. And like, when I'm in town, I mean, I go to the office, right? And kind of touch base. Then you travel from there, you move from there, either do Zoom or go have a coffee with somebody or whatever. But so blend the technology and person to person, okay? Speaking of, Jill mentioned leadership retreat, okay? So what we're gonna do on February 4th through the 6th, okay? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put this up. I'm gonna try to share my screen here, okay? See if I can do this, okay, now, okay. Now, hopefully you can see that. If you can see that, give me a thumbs up. Nicole, yeah, Doug, okay, got it. Okay, so this will be going out to all RVPs in the hierarchy this next week. Okay, so we're, saying, okay, if you're serious about growing your business in 2022, we're gonna have a leadership retreat. We're gonna do it here in Jackson, out at Livingston and the chapel. Got a beautiful little chapel there, so we can use as a event space. But it's going to be a great event. We're going to it's February 4th and 5th. It's actually 4th through the 6th. Okay. And let me scroll down here. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a the Friday evening, 5:30 to 7. We're going to have a regional leader and an RVP reception. I think we're going to do it at my office on Highland Colony Parkway there in our meeting room. We're gonna have that. And then we're gonna do a Saturday 9 to 3 p.m. Meeting there in the chapel at Livingston, a general session. And we're gonna provide lunch for everybody. And then Sunday morning, of course, Dan Hall, many of you have heard Dan Hall. Dan is gonna be, we have a little Livingston Fellowship service every Sunday morning at 10 a.m., 10 to 11. And so that'll be with Dan Hall. That's an optional event. Naturally, that's a spiritual message that Dan will be sharing. But anyway, so guys, let me tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this event. I've got 80 slots. I've got room for 80 people. Okay. And so whoever wants to come to this, okay, you need to get with your RVP, and y'all need to send me a text in my cell phone, 601-502-3234. Maybe somebody can post that under the chat for me. 601-502-3234 is my cell phone. Just shoot me a text and say, okay, the RVP, how many people, how many slots do you want? 5, 3, whatever. But this is not going to be an event to where we're going to be showing an overview of like trying to recruit somebody. I mean, in other words, we're not going to be trying to recruit anybody at this event. This is going to be kind of a locker room. How do you become an RVP? Where do you want to open your office? What does an office need to look like? What do you need to do to be able to do that? And man, we're going to blow and go 9 to 3 p.m. on Saturday. And so reception on Friday evening, 9 to 3. And then if you want to stay over Saturday night and then come to the optional service on Sunday morning, that'll be great for you and your partner. It's naturally all partners are welcome, but anyway, it's kind of first come, first serve. And so my goal is to identify a whole new group of regional vice presidents, future RVPs. Now, somebody could be, you could have joined the company last month and you want to go out there and get this thing going, then let's go. Let's tee it up and let's go make it happen. So you could have been here for 5 years, doesn't matter, right? The thing is that you're ready to make a commitment to go on a run for regional vice president. Okay, so that's what this that weekend is designed for. That's in 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today here in Jackson. Okay, let me tell you what's happening after that. Okay, we're going to do another event. It'll be a big event. Bigger event. We're not going to limit it to 80 slots. It's April 8th and 9th. Okay, April 8th and 9th, that weekend is going to be here in Jackson. Of course, then we have the convention at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, which you got to be there. That's going to be a game changer. That's the end of June. So you got February in a month. Okay, February 4th through the 6th. Then you got April 8th and 9th weekend. Okay. Then we got the convention. And then I'm going to do another event September 16th and 17th. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and get slides out on this for the whole year. So that way you can plan. So we got February, April, convention, and September. Okay. So that's what we're doing this year. And then, of course, the leadership hour, we're doing that. Okay. The other thing we're doing is Daniel Frillo sent me a goal sheet. I'm going to send this out to all RVPs next week, and had a goal sheet with all of his goals. He does this every year, and I really like it. That's why I got a blank copy. I'm going to send this out to all of you, and he has everything from income goals, recruiting, production, all that stuff, primary goals, and all that. Okay, what he's going to do personally, team. By the way, his goal this year is to cross over into a 7-figure income. Okay, and I believe Daniel and Sandra, they can do that. But anyway, and so I was thinking about that this morning. I mean, the keys to the goals is you got to, number one, you got to set a goal. Okay, you got to set a goal. When I joined this company, I was 24 years old. I had never set a goal in my life. I had never written down a goal in my life. So you got to set a goal. Number two, you got to write it down. Okay, you got to write it down. Number three, you got to put it where you can see it, right? You know, what I did when I first joined the company, or before I even joined the company, I went to a fast search school with Art Williams. And he had us he had us write down 5 goals, 5 short-term goals, 5 long-term goals. And a short-term goal within 6 months, a long-term goal was over 6 months long. Okay, so 5 and 5. But the thing that I did, he had us take the promotion guidelines, right? And he had us write down, okay, when are you going to be when are you going to be a district leader, division, regional vice president, and had us put down dates, right? And I took not this, but I took the promotion guidelines, put it on my refrigerator, and that little cabin we lived in, you had to walk by the refrigerator and the door of the house. Every time I walked in, those guidelines were staring at me, right? So like all during the day, every time I just look at it, I said, okay, I put my dates here on what I've got to do to do that. And I remember I put down that I'd be a regional vice president in 20 months, and I did it in 18, right? I had no idea even how I was going to do it. But what I'm saying is I set a goal, I wrote it down, okay? I looked at it every day. I put it where I could see it, okay? And then the fourth thing and key thing is you think about it every day. Art taught us to spend 30 minutes a day, just here and there, 30 seconds, a minute on the way to the grocery store, whatever. Think for a minute. What's it going to feel like? What's it going to feel like to walk across that stage as a regional vice president, right? Guys, 2022 needs to be a breakout year. And so spend an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, just thinking about how great it's going to go ahead, because you won't get to where you need to get to living where you are. You've got to go out in the future and think about how great it's going to be to accomplish that goal. What's it going to feel like to you? And man, rehearse that over and over in your mind. Think about it every day. So anyway, I'm going to send this, you don't have to have Daniel's deal. You just take a, typing paper, whatever, and write it down. But the other thing is, to become an RVP, right? The guidelines tell you what you need to do to get there. Basically, you got to have 6 key people that you've bought in the business that are producing and getting after it. Well, to get 6, you maybe got to go get 18, right? Okay, but go out there and overkill it. I do know this: the best investment I've ever made in my life was in my business. Right? It wasn't investing in mutual funds or stock or anything like that. I mean, you want to do all that. You want to save money. But the best investment I've ever made was putting it back into my company, right? Just like this leadership retreat, there's no fee to come. I'm paying for everything, right? Reception, the lunch. Now it's going to be a casual lunch. We're going to do pizza and crap like that, right? But what I'm saying is, that's the best investment I've ever made. If I go out there, if I can help 10 of you become a regional vice president, home run, right? But anyway, that's not the reason you do that. But I'm just saying that's a byproduct of you building leadership. And the thing about it is, of course, I love serving people. That servant leadership, and I love people. And I don't chase the dollars. I let the dollars chase me, right? I love being in an environment where, I talked about in the book, the ascent of a leader is the key to building a great company is you build a place where people find home, right? Man, if you can ever get that, if you can ever get it to where people aren't having to look over their shoulder and think about where it's going to come from next. But they're just in an environment where they know that people love each other. We're not perfect. We screw up every day, but our heart is to care about people and provide that environment where they can go get it done for their family, where they can plant their flag and say, man, this is where I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it here on earth, this is it. For me and my family, If you can create that environment, and that's a great place to be. The other thing, folks, let me tell you, have a simple game plan, right? Have a simple game plan. Say, okay, if I need to, get, you want to become a copywork duplicating. I know that I had to do that. So go out there and get legal as fast as you can. Use your upline regional vice president. By the way, if it's not working for you, folks, do you understand that every one of you have access to a consultant, a business consultant that you don't have to pay for? That comes with the territory, right? I mean, I know what the heck I need to do to win here. I know what you need to do to go win it. Why wouldn't you utilize a free business consultant, right? That's on your team, right? I mean, that comes with the territory. That's what you get for being here. And but get a game plan. Simple game plan. I mean, it may be like Daniel Perlow's. His goal is he wants to bring in 3 people a month to join his company, 3 people a month personally. Okay, go out there, qualify for district every month or whatever. But get a game plan and go out there and make that happen. Okay, let's see. I'm running short on time. Okay, I got 5 minutes. Okay, so let me say this, okay? I got a couple of things here I've written down over the last month. I read this: desire can sometimes trump talent. Desire can sometimes trump talent. If you have desire, your talent will find you. Okay. So that's the biggest thing we need to do is we need to fan that flame of desire and those dreams and those goals. Okay. The other thing is, and Jill kind of mentioned this, don't spend another minute in the past. Folks, stop reliving the past. Okay. Now look back and learn from it, but do not, let me tell you that internal conversation. How often do you beat yourself up? I should have done this. I should have done, boy, I regret this. Hey, no, forgive yourself and move on. Don't spend another minute looking back other than to learn from it of what to do, what not to do. Stop doing that. You look, we have to move forward. Do not waste another minute this year. If you have to remind yourself 100 times a day, so no, I'm not living in the past anymore. No condemnation. I'm not condemning myself anymore. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to move forward from this day forward. I'm going to move forward and I'm going to live in the present and the future. I'm not living in the past anymore. What's past, what's gone is gone, right? There's nothing you can do to change it. Let's learn from it and let's move forward. Man, the future is too exciting to live in the past, right? Elon Musk said this. He said, like the beginning of a new year, you think, man, there's so much I need to be doing right now. And he said, man, do not get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed. You need to push all that stuff back. If you feel overwhelmed right now with what you need to do, hey, push all that stuff back. Don't let it overwhelm you. Push back on it and say, you know what? I know there's 100 things I need to do right now, but you know what? I'm gonna narrow it down to 3 things today that I need to get done. Okay. And focus on those 3 things. Then tomorrow you can do 3 more. Right. And it's a cinch by the inch, and just don't get overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed right now, you need to push back on that. Don't go there. I read this morning. 2 days of procrastination can destroy 2 months of discipline, right? You know, we talked about how to build momentum is be a constant, continuous motion that builds momentum. Okay. And if you go out there and you blow it, you go out there and get things going, and then you start procrastinating for a couple of days. Next thing you know, folks, it's a week has passed and you haven't done anything and you've lost your momentum. Okay. Golly. Okay. Let me say this. Okay. This is, I'll close with this. I was reading this in a devotion, book of mysteries. Man, I love that book of mysteries. Jonathan Cahn, Cahn. It's a daily thing you read. Actually, I've had 2 different people gave me that book in 2018. So I said, well, Lord, you must be trying to tell me something. But it's a Christian thing. But he talked about he's Jewish, but he's accepted Christ, Jonathan Cahn. But anyway, he talks about Jerusalem. And he said, Jerusalem's the city of God, the city of peace. But it's actually, Jerusalem is the most fought over plot of land in the world, right? It's been laid siege over one time. It's been destroyed over more than once. There's been over actually 20 different times. There's been over 100 conflicts over Jerusalem, okay? But it's also a conflict in the spiritual realm, right? And that's the reason for it. The reason for the warfare is it's a spiritual thing, and the same is true. And he talks about the same is true in your life, right? Conflict, warfare, and attacks. Okay, that's part of it, because you know what? folks, when you decide that you're going to go out there and make a difference with your life, like if we had time, and I've used this example before, if we had time for each one of you to share, okay, why do you want to win? And if you won here, what would you do with it? You know what? You know what I would find out? I've done this many, many times, is that it's really not about you, it's about others, right? And man, there wouldn't be if we had time to go through it, there wouldn't be a dry eye in front of any camera, right? Because it's about your family, it's about your community, it's about a charity, it's about the Lord, whatever, it's about others. And folks, you understand that, man, all hell's gonna break loose on you if you go out there and you start to move forward and swim upstream and not just go with the flow anymore and say, this year will not be, I'm not going back to where I was. This year is going to be a different kind of year for me and my family, and the ripple effect of that and the effect it'll have on the example of to your kids or your grandkids or your brothers and sisters, your friends, your community, right? When you start swimming upstream, the power of that. And that's what Jill and I mean, we're just committed to do that. We're gonna be different. We're gonna be different, and we're going to do that with our life. And so the thing about it is, there's going to be conflict, there's going to be warfare, there's going to be attacks, but don't be discouraged. And he talks about this, don't be discouraged, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Hey, when that starts happening, you probably need to start getting a little excited. You start to say, whoa, man, I'm upsetting somebody here, right? Because all hell's coming against me right now. So rather than be discouraged, get excited, say, man, I must be getting hot. I must be getting warm to a breakthrough, and start to run toward the roar rather than away from it, and start running toward the fear, okay? And start to push through on that. And then it's like somebody said that in Atlanta, that look, if you have a tough day, right? Well, man, that day could be worth $100,000 to you, right? You had $100,000 day today. Wow, man! If you persevere through that, and the hotter it gets, the harder you try, man. Then, man, incredible things can happen from that. So, I just want to encourage you that, man, let's go out and make it happen. We're going to be going. We'll be doing. I mentioned the Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central. If any of you want to jump on the AIG Zoom call with us, you're welcome to do that. If you're not securities licensed or whatever, you just want to learn more, that's great. We'll be doing 30 minutes. I'll be doing leadership hour next Saturday, 10 to 11. And so we'll have more things that we talk about. And in the meantime, wear Primerica Online out, right? Watching videos, be a student every day, have that activity, take that spark, have the activity, and then of course, if you would like to be a part of the future RVPs, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody sign in with your name, your cell phone, your email address, and we're going to track it. I'm going to say, okay, look, here's X number of future VPs that were attended that, and we're going to track it. So, okay, like out of this, we had X amount in the next 12 months became regional vice presidents in the company. So we're going to do that. So some of you may want to take a road trip and come down and be with us, and and let's go out and make it happen. So anyway, guys, hey, listen, we appreciate all of you. God bless you. Thank you for. Matter of fact, I've still got this daggum thing up there, don't I? Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. Man, I know. I guess I promoted the heck out of that retreat. It's been up there 15 minutes. But anyway, anything we can do, I'm in town all this next week, and anything we can do to help you, let us know. But God bless y'all. Have a great weekend, and we will see you later. Thanks. Bye.